Just a few hours ago, AJ dropped a POV training video showing the power Daniel Dubois should expect when they get in the ring.
Left hook head, left hook body. Good, body head. Good, and again.
Even though the video has sparked massive social media reactions, the one it was targeted to seems, well, quite unbothered. Dubois even gave a heated reaction, saying that pads don't hit back, but in a very provocative way. Anthony Joshua is leaving no stone unturned in his preparation. The former two-time heavyweight champion of the world is a man on a mission, eager to reclaim his former glory and prove that he still has what it takes to reign supreme. Recently, Joshua posted a point-of-view video that left his fans full of excitement. In the video, Joshua was seen hammering the pads with an intensity that left everyone impressed by his power. He captioned the video with the telling statement, "In an industry where respect is earned and not given." The message was clear. Joshua is coming into this fight with a chip on his shoulder, determined to earn back the respect that was taken from him by Usyk. Fans certainly felt the power in every punch he threw in that video. One fan couldn't help but comment, "That hurt even through Twitter." Another chimed in, "Damn, those sound like pain." The video even had one person confessing, "Great to see this. I almost feel the punches." And one bold supporter added, "I feel like I just got knocked out multiple times." Clearly, Joshua's followers are witnessing a man ready to cause destruction in the ring. But it's not just the fans who are reacting to Joshua's displays of power. His opponent, Daniel Dubois, hasn't been shy with his words either. Daniel Dubois has never been one to back down from a challenge. He might be younger than Joshua, but he's no stranger to the intensity of heavyweight battles. Upon seeing Joshua's video, Dubois had a few choice words of his own.
Ah, shit, and again. Good, and again. Good, two more. One more of them. Good.
He thinks he's some kind of beast now just because he's hitting pads like a madman? Man, fuck all that. I ain't scared of those punches. Let him bring that weak expletive to the ring, and I'll show him what real power looks like. He can play to the cameras all he wants, but when I land mine, we'll see who's still standing. He won't know what fucking hit him. Trust me. I'm ready for war. Dubois' fiery response isn't just talk either. He's been training hard himself, preparing for the biggest fight of his life. Despite being newly crowned as the IBF champion, Dubois is hungry to make his mark on the sport and prove that he deserves to sit among the heavyweight elites. This is his chance, and he's not about to let Joshua or anyone else take it from him. Anthony Joshua is currently the heavy favorite to take the IBF title away from Daniel Dubois.
Honestly, speaking from the bottom of my heart, aside from belts and aside from it being him, I'm just ready to fight.
When the two meet in the ring, with his recent stunning form and new coach Ben Davidson sharpening his skills, Joshua looks like a man on a mission, and fans and experts alike are taking notice. Former world champion Tony Bellu is among those who believe that Joshua is ready to get the job done and do it quickly. Bellu's bold prediction has caught attention, and his confidence in Joshua is clear. Bellu didn't hold back when he shared his thoughts, telling Coin Poker, "I think Anthony Joshua knocks Daniel Dubois out inside 3 rounds. Everything that Daniel Dubois does well, Anthony Joshua does better." The statement was a clear challenge to Dubois' abilities, as Bellu believes that Joshua's strengths completely overshadow anything Dubois brings to the table. Bellu continued by breaking down the matchup, stating, "Daniel Dubois is a strong puncher. He's heavy-handed, but Anthony Joshua is stronger and fast."
Both of you have said that as well. Both of you said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
But let's wait till the 21st.
Yeah, not me in the middle, please.
If he wants to swing, go. Let's go now.
For Bellu, it's a case of Joshua simply being on another level. Dubois might have power, but Joshua's power, according to Bellu, is something else entirely. Then, Bellu delivered the twist that grabbed everyone's attention, referring to Dubois' recent fight against Filip Hrgović. He said, "He got hit with 45 right hands in 4 rounds against Filip Hrgović. He'll get hit with 3 against Anthony Joshua, and he'll wake up in an ambulance." The statement was brutal, but it painted a vivid picture of what Bellu expects to happen when these two collide in the ring. For Bellu, Joshua's punching power is like dynamite in his gloves, and he doesn't see Dubois handling it well. "Anthony Joshua has dynamite in his gloves," Bellu said confidently, making it clear that Dubois might not be ready for what's coming his way.
I looked at him as the guy that's leading the way for British fighters, British heavyweights, British boxing. So he's been the king for a long time, and now is my time. I need to dethrone the king and slay the king, and that's what.
Of course, Bellu didn't completely write off Dubois. He admitted that Dubois is a dangerous puncher too. and that anything can happen in the heavyweight division.
Shut up, relax. Relax.
If you want to go now, let's go.
Relax.
If you want to go now, let's go.
Chair across your face. Don't disrespect
No, you can't intimidate me.
Don't disrespect
You can't
me.
intimidate me.
Don't disrespect
Don't get me wrong, Daniel Dubois is a puncher too, so he does have a puncher's chance, Bellu acknowledged. However, Bellu ultimately gave Joshua a heavy advantage, saying, "I rate it 70-30, 80-20 in Joshua's favor." For Bellu, it's clear that while Dubois might land a big shot, the odds are stacked heavily against him. Both Joshua and Dubois are considered two of the most powerful punchers in the heavyweight division. On British soil, they're seen as among the most dangerous fighters when it comes to knockout power. Joshua, with his past record of stunning knockouts, has a well-earned reputation as a fearsome puncher. Recently, he's been on a hot streak, stopping his last 3 opponents: Robert Helenius, Otto Wallen, and even former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou.
You can't intimidate me.
Daniel, don't
Who do you
disrespect
think you
me.
are?
Daniel, don't disrespect me. Can't put this shit on your face. Nah, don't disrespect me on my life.
No, man.
It's okay. I want this little boy. Don't disrespect me, bro.
No.
Know who the this guy thinks he's talking to?
No. It's good.
Joshua's devastating power has been on full display, and his confidence seems to be growing with every victory. Dubois, meanwhile, has also shown his power in the ring, especially during his last fight against Filip Hrgović. It was a brutal battle, with Dubois absorbing huge shots but managing to come out on top with a stoppage victory. Dubois has proven that he can handle a tough fight and come out swinging. But the fight against Hrgović also raised concerns about his defense, as he took a significant amount of damage before getting the win. Dubois has also had some tough losses in his career, including a devastating defeat to Joe Joyce and a hard-fought loss to Alexander Usyk. As Dubois prepares for his showdown with Joshua, his camp is well aware of the criticism surrounding his defense. Dubois' trainer, Don Charles, has been vocal about the work they're putting in to address these issues. Speaking on TalkSport Breakfast, Charles acknowledged the defensive lapses in Dubois' fight against Hrgović, but made it clear that they're working hard to fix those mistakes. "We have a lot of work to do," Charles admitted. "The defense, everyone is latched onto that, and he is getting hit with right hands. Yes, we can see that, and we are trying to improve." Charles didn't shy away from the criticism, instead embracing it as motivation to make sure Dubois is ready for Joshua's attack. He knows that Joshua will be looking to exploit any defensive gaps, but Charles has a warning for anyone who underestimates Dubois. "They say he will get knocked out by AJ because he is leaking right hands," Charles said. "But in boxing, when you throw a right hand, you are also in danger of being hit with one yourself." Charles's message was clear. If Joshua thinks that landing a right hand on Dubois will be easy, he might be in for a surprise. If they are foolish enough to bank on that, they have something else coming.
And the dubous working on head movement and footwork, but preparing for his fight against Alexander Usyk in Poland.
Charles added, making it known that Dubois is working hard to prove his doubters wrong. Charles didn't stop there, though. He promised that the mistakes from the Hrgović fight won't be repeated when Dubois steps into the ring with Joshua. "We aren't ignorant. We are going to work on it. He took far too many against Hrgović. That wasn't the plan, but we will rectify that in the Joshua fight." Don Charles delivered a bold prediction of his own, confident that his fighter will shock the world. "When we go and beat up Anthony Joshua, what are they going to say next?" Charles asked, throwing down the gauntlet to the critics. For Charles and Dubois, this fight is about more than just defending a title. It's about proving everyone wrong and showing that Dubois is ready to take over the heavyweight division. This gives us fuel, and especially Daniel, to prove the critics wrong and deliver the win, Charles concluded. The Dubois camp is coming into this fight with a chip on their shoulder, determined to show that they have what it takes to beat Joshua and shake up the heavyweight landscape. Whoever wins this fight could be in for an even bigger challenge down the road. A victory for either Dubois or Joshua could lead to a massive undisputed title fight with the winner of Alexander Usyk's rematch against Tyson Fury, which takes place on December 21st. The stakes are sky high for both men, and this fight could be the springboard to one of the biggest bouts in boxing history. However, Frank Warren, Daniel Dubois' promoter, is fully confident that Anthony Joshua is walking into the most dangerous fight of his career. Joshua is no stranger to challenges, having faced off against some of the biggest names in the heavyweight division. But Warren believes that the power Dubois brings to the ring is something Joshua hasn't seen since his 2017 clash with Vladimir Klitschko. That night,
an Olympic gold medal champion, 28 victories in his career since becoming a professional. 25 of the 28 by KO, only 3 defeats, and known as AJ, Anthony Joshua.
Joshua unified the heavyweight titles by getting up off the canvas to outpoint the heavyweight legend. But Warren believes Dubois is even more dangerous. I do. Joshua knows it as well. Don't worry about that, Warren said in an interview with Queensberry Promotions. Listen, he knows him. He's sparred with him. There's this big debate about what happened in that sparring, and I've heard 2 versions of it. One of the reasons we signed him and I sponsored him was because of what I was being told, and that was from people who were there. The sparring sessions between Joshua and Dubois have been a source of intrigue for fans, with rumors swirling about what really went down. Warren is confident that Joshua is well aware of the danger Dubois presents, having faced it firsthand in those sparring sessions. Throughout the lead-up to his fight with Filip Hrgović in June, Dubois was bombarded with reminders of his past sparring sessions with the confident Croatian.
Let's hear from our 2 main event fighters. Let's start with the champion, Daniel Dubois, the new IBF heavyweight champion of the world.
Hrgović, hoping to gain a psychological edge, repeatedly brought up their sparring, recalling details intended to haunt Dubois. But instead of being shaken, Dubois seemed to feed off the jibes. He walked through a series of flush right hands from Hrgović during their fight, bullying the previously unbeaten fighter to an 8th-round defeat. If anything, Hrgovic's attempts to get into Dubois' head only made the Londoner stronger, showing that Dubois is a different fighter than he was in the past. This time around, as he prepares for Joshua, Dubois has remained quiet about their past sparring sessions. If the rumors are to be believed, Dubois might have some favorable memories from those rounds, but he's chosen to stay focused on the present, leaving the past behind. Frank Warren understands why Dubois is staying quiet, but he also believes that those shared rounds with Joshua could be the key to an upset. I understand that that was then, but how I look at it was that that was a 17-year-old kid with a 4-year-old who was, 24 or 25, a gold medalist and whatever, Warren explained. He's got stronger. He punches harder now. He's matured. He seems mentally stronger. He's a much more mentally strong guy. According to Warren, the Dubois that sparred with Joshua years ago is not the same fighter stepping into the ring next month. Dubois has grown both physically and mentally, and Warren believes this newfound strength and maturity will make all the difference. Warren also pointed to Dubois' resilience in his fight against Hrgović as evidence of his mental toughness. Hrgović had been confident going into the fight, relying on his past sparring success against Dubois to predict an easy victory. However, as the fight progressed, it became clear that Dubois was not the same fighter Hrgović had sparred with years ago. I saw that in Hrgović because he talked a lot about what he'd done to him. It wasn't the case, actually. They didn't spar once, they sparred 4 or 5 times, and it was very tough sparring for both of them, Warren recalled. Hrgović may have landed some big shots early in the fight, but Dubois weathered the storm, dug deep, and turned the tables on his opponent. Warren remembers watching the fight and thinking Dubois was on the verge of stopping Hrgović by the end of the 5th round. He gritted his teeth and got back into it. He busted him up, and I think it was at the end of the 5th round I thought he was about to stop him. He busted him up, Warren said, showing just how far Dubois has come since their sparring days. Dubois' ability to rise above the challenges in his fights has made him a dangerous underdog in several matchups. He was an underdog going into the Hrgović fight, just as he was an underdog against Gerald Miller and Oleksandr Usyk. Yet Dubois has shown time and time again that he thrives in these situations, proving his doubters wrong. Warren believes that Joshua might be underestimating the danger he's walking into, much like Hrgović and others did before him. For Warren, the outcome of this fight isn't just about the power that Joshua is trying to show, it's about how much Dubois has evolved as a fighter. The young man who once sparred with Joshua is now a more complete, more dangerous heavyweight. His experiences, both in victory and defeat, have made him stronger. And while Joshua may have his own advantages, experience, technique, and a history of climbing off the canvas to win, Warren believes Dubois' combination of power and newfound mental toughness could be the key to pulling off the upset. "I think he showed what he's all about," Warren said of Dubois' fight with Hrgović. Dubois' ability to take punishment, stay composed, and come back stronger is something that Warren believes will serve him well against Joshua. The mental strength Dubois has gained, combined with his raw punching power, makes him a serious threat. As the hype builds, so too does the expectation that this fight will go down in history. Joshua versus Dubois is already on track to break the British boxing attendance record next month. The current record is held by Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, whose bout at Wembley Stadium drew a staggering 94,000 fans. But Joshua and Dubois are closing in fast on that number, with 90,000 tickets already sold. Saudi boxing chief His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, along with promoters Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, have made it clear that they are gunning for more. They recently had a request granted to expand Wembley's capacity to 96,000, giving them the opportunity to surpass Fury and White's crowd. The additional 6,000 tickets are set to go on sale at noon on Friday, the 30th of August, and they are expected to sell out in no time. This record-breaking crowd will only add to the intensity of what is already shaping up to be one of the biggest heavyweight clashes of the year. The fight is more than just a showdown between two great athletes. It's a symbol of British boxing's immense popularity and the electric atmosphere that surrounds these larger-than-life events. Looking at the matchup on paper, it's hard to say who has the clear advantage. Joshua is the more experienced fighter, having competed on the biggest stages in the sport and held world titles multiple times. He has fought and defeated some of the best heavyweights of his era, including Vladimir Klitschko, Joseph Parker, and Andy Ruiz Jr. His combination of power, athleticism, and technical skill makes him a formidable opponent for anyone. But Dubois brings youth and hunger into the ring. At just 26 years old, he's entering his prime and seems ready to take on the best in the division. His record is impressive, with 19 wins, 18 by knockout, and only one loss. That loss to Joe Joyce was a humbling moment for Dubois, but he has bounced back with a vengeance, winning his last 4 fights, 3 of them by knockout. He has power in both hands and isn't afraid to take the fight to his opponents. Joshua will need to be cautious, as one mistake could cost him the fight. What do you think?